Well, in the last edition of RWL Rage, things got out of control between Georgia Washington and Patriotic Pam Parsons. And so Georgia Washington, the Yankee Rose, picks up a win over Patriotic Pam Parsons. And woohoo, wait a minute now. Georgia Washington with a steel chair returning to the ring, going after Pam Parsons. This is absolutely uncalled for. Menacing the referee as well. And following this on the same card, folks, we just got word that it just broke out between Patriotic Pam Parsons and Georgia Washington backstage. Our cameras are there. Let's watch.
Which led to a backstage dust-up between Georgia Washington and Pam Parsons, and it got ugly, it got all over the place, and it went from room to room, and it was definitely an unpleasant situation. It was more unpleasant for Georgia Washington at the end of the thing. They wound up in a locker room area. Pam Parsons got even with her, got a hold of a steel chair, and went to town on Georgia. And by every law, written or unwritten in the world of professional wrestling, Pam Parsons was completely justified in taking that chair to Georgia Washington. And it wasn't for lack of trying. Georgia Washington definitely hit Pam Parsons with everything but the kitchen sink back there, and it got really out of hand. But at the end of the thing, it wound up being Patriotic Pam Parsons with the upper hand, and she wound up knocking Georgia Washington the hell on out. But that has led us to this, which is meaning that tonight we got ourselves a no-rules matchup between Georgia Washington and Patriotic Pam Parsons, and that is going to be a wild one, folks. No question about it, this match contested with no rules, no disqualifications, no countouts, no nothing. Total anarchy. The referee has nothing to do but count a pinfall or garner a submission. Right you are, Dandy Don, which takes us to match number 2 with Patriotic Pam Parsons and Miss Georgia Washington, the Yankee Rose, in a no-rules contest.
And fellas, I don't mind telling you, I love a good cat fight.
Calm down, Myron the King Schimmelman.
The following contest is a no-rules match, scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Huntington Beach, California, here is America's sweetheart, Patriotic Pam Parsons.
The familiar strains of the Thunderer March from John Philip Sousa, heralding the arrival of Patriotic Pam Parsons, and this is one bitter young lady determined to exact herself a little bit of revenge at the hands of the Yankee Rose, Georgia Washington, who is already unpopular with all 3 of the All-American gals, Pam Parsons, Brooklyn Von Brown, and of course Liberty Belle Danielle Heathcote.
Oh, Dandy Don, I don't need to tell you Liberty Belle Danielle was furious after that. She said, oh, well, Georgia Washington waited until me and Brooklyn left to attack Pam with that chair, and you know what? That's probably not completely out of court.
Well, don't worry, she got even with Georgia Washington backstage at Rage, and she's going to get double even tonight. And again, no rules, no disqualifications, no countouts, no nothing.
Well, let me roll up onto the sidewalk and take a look, yeah? Whoa, she's beautiful. I'm talking about a Yankee Rose.
And her opponent, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, she is the Yankee Rose, Miss Georgia Washington.
Wild. Are you ready for the new sensation? Well, here's a shot heard around the world.
The shot heard around the world, drowned out by the boos of the fans here in Tulsa, not the least bit welcoming to the Yankee Rose, Miss Georgia Washington. And why not? Her actions on Rage post-match involving Pam Parsons attacking her with a steel chair and menacing a referee. Absolutely reprehensible actions of the valet of Kurt Angle. But nonetheless, she is here tonight on her own. And as I understand it, Myron, this is her first ever no-rules match. Is that correct?
That's absolutely true. She's never done this before, so let's find out if she's any good at it or not. You are a scream, Myron. Oh man, no rules matchup between the ladies. This is going to be tough.
I'm talking about it. Yeah!
All right, well, Pam Parsons, no stranger to hardcore rules, having been in that War Games match in September. Here we go. Willie Johnson sounds the bell. Here we go. Pam with a forearm. Georgia counters with an elbow. Fireman's carry from Patriotic Pam Parsons. Georgia Washington counters with a hard forearm. Kick to the midsection from Pam Parsons, delivering a series of high kicks. And pitches Georgia Washington halfway across town. Pam rounds her up again, a chop across the chest, a counter chop from Georgia, and a nice suplex from the Yankee Rose, Georgia Washington. Georgia Washington quickly countered by Pam Parsons. Pam Parsons rounds up Georgia again, quickly countered by Georgia Washington. Georgia Washington with a chop across the chest and a vicious clothesline across the back of Pam Parsons and takes her down to the canvas. Georgia rounds her up, has her up over the shoulders, face first flapjack into the canvas. Georgia Washington coming out real aggressive in the opening goings here. Pam Parsons in trouble. Look at this leg snap from Georgia Washington, followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Now, the damage is really starting to pile up for Pam Parsons. Pam quickly counters and escapes. They lock up, they tussle. Pam shoves Georgia halfway across. Whoa, my, well now, I told you she was no stranger to hardcore rules, now didn't I? Did you see that? Quick cover, hook the leg, 1, 2, got a 2, almost got a 3, man, wow. Pam Parsons with a basement drop kick across the back of the Yankee Rose, follows it up with a stomp to the back, large dribble, and Georgia's hit like a basketball across the canvas. Georgia Washington now on the receiving end of some serious business at the hands of America's sweetheart Pam Parsons. And the fans here in Tulsa just eating up Pam Parsons. They're just loving it. And so is she. Pam Parsons goes behind, head scissors and a couple of hard wraps across the noggin. Georgia Washington now into an arm bar. Referee Willie Johnson watching the situation. Could very well be a submission right here. Georgia not letting up. Fights her way out of the hole. Delivers a couple of hard rights and disengages herself from Pam Parsons. Pam Parsons rounded up into a swing ding neckbreaker from Georgia Washington. Georgia Washington once more regains control of things. And here we go. Into a figure 4 leg lock, and it is locked in pretty good. Look at this. Look at the arch on this one. Pam Parsons in a whole heap of trouble. Willie Johnson asking her what she wants to do. She is absolutely flailing. And Georgia Washington has got this figure 4 locked in real good. Disengages herself from Pam Parsons. The damage already definitely done. Pam Parsons definitely going to pay for that hold. Georgia whips her out onto the floor, follows her on out herself. Fails to connect with that overhand right. Pam Parsons quickly counters Georgia. Georgia equally quickly countering Pam. Pam counters again, delivers a kick. Oh, vicious knee to the face of Pam Parsons. Georgia Washington once more in control of Pam Parsons here. Escorts her to the apron, head first into the apron, goes Pam, down she goes. Georgia quickly rounding her back up. Georgia quickly countered by Pam Parsons with a kick to the midsection. Georgia counters Pam again, rounds her up, has her up over the shoulders, and once more, head first into the apron. Pam Parsons in some real trouble here. Georgia Washington rounds her up, has her up, backbreaker, and now just torturing the spine of Patriotic Pam Parsons. On the outside, there are no countouts, no disqualifications. It's just anything goes. Whoa! Pam Parsons hurled by her hair halfway across. Georgia Washington with a chop across the chest and another quickly countered by Pam Parsons. Pam Parsons quickly countered by Georgia Washington with a kick. Georgia counters Pam again. Oh, into the ring post time, into the ring post time, into the ring post time, into the ring post time. And whoa, Pam Parsons got nailed pretty good with that ring post because she is absolutely motionless. Now, only now she's slowly starting to get it together. Man, that one must have really connected really well. Georgia Washington rolls her back into the ring. Now might be the time to go for a pin. Georgia, pacing around like a caged animal here, delivers a stomp to the arm of Pam Parsons. Georgia rounds her up. Georgia quickly countered by Pam Parsons, delivers a kick to the midsection. A chop across the chest. Patriotic Pam Parsons trying to battle her way back into this one. Georgia flips Pam into the corner. She rebounds out painfully. Georgia goes for a cover. 1, 2, and just a 2. A flat out 2. Georgia Washington figures she had this one in the bag. Figures she might still have this one in the bag. Look at her just showing off, much to the consternation of the fans. Georgia countered by Pam with a forearm. Pam delivers a kick. Winds up the arm of the Yankee Rose. Georgia counters from behind with an elbow. Takes down Pam with a clothesline. Takes her down with a second one. Georgia rebounds off the ropes, nails her with a third clothesline, and down goes Pam Parsons. Look at this. Pam Parsons rolls her up. 1, 2. Oh, well, that would have been really cool if she had pulled it off, man. Wow. Nice roll up from Pam Parsons. Georgia Washington up over the shoulders of America's sweetheart. Boom. Michinoku driver. Georgia Washington is laid out, and here we go. Pam Parsons going under the ring for a little something extra for the first time here. Comes back with a kendo stick. Georgia Washington isn't even aware of what's going on. Back to her feet. Quickly escapes the kendo stick. Rounds up to Pam. Oh, man. Electric teardrop for Pam Parsons. Hard shot from Georgia. Pam counters with a kick. Georgia Washington catches another kick to the midsection and a face buster right center ring. And down went Georgia. Pam covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and shut up. Patriotic Pam Parsons wrapping this one up by pinfall without much bloodshed.
The time, 6 minutes and 46 seconds. Your winner, Patriotic. Pam Parsons.
Pam Parsons winning this matchup without the use of much extreme violence, without the clause of the no rules match being engaged. Picks up one kendo stick, doesn't connect with it, but still manages to pick up a pinfall victory over Georgia Washington.
And you know what that was? That was a testimony to Pam Parsons' pure wrestling ability. Well, all right, maybe not the low blow. Let's forget about that. But for the most part, she didn't even really have to use any extreme rules kind of stuff. She won this match with her own skill. I give her full marks for that.
And I'll tell you what else, too. Georgia Washington did not exactly go easy on Pam Parsons. I mean, she got roughed up pretty good, but still managed to overcome all of that and still come away with a 3-count pinfall. That definitely does say something about her wrestling ability, Myron. I love that little roll-up right there. That could have really just taken it over the edge for her.
Well, that was it. Patriotic Pam Parsons with a pinfall victory over Georgia Washington, and we'll be back with more Colisevm games right after the break.